how accurate
That's
pointing
exactly
is to me.
what I'm thinking of, yeah. So I'm able to take my region of interest. You'll notice in the software you've got region of interest. You can move that around the frame.
Yeah.
I've got the region of interest of only, I can't remember what that is, 480 by 480 around Jupiter because it's a reasonably stable mount. And it doesn't move back too much. But I'm still occasionally touching the hand controller to nudge it back to the middle. Important thing, get the camera turned so that up is up and down is down, as left is right. That way you'll have an easier time using your left, right, up, down to keep it in frame. If it's a funny angle, you'll struggle. So if I open our stacking software, this is kind of the go-to. It's Auto Stacker because it does such an amazing, great job, and it's really easy to use. Used to have to do a lot more messing around when you were using when it was the using grid steps. So that's in card. So you can actually see quite a bit of detail.
Sure.
That's straight off the camera.
Is it sharp cap that you can get the region of interest to centre the image and it moves?
Yes, on the newer versions of sharp camera, I think Firecapture does as well.
Firecapture does it, yes. So
Connect it to a mount through Ascom and have it automatically keep the planet centre.
have you had it working?
I've never got it working, but
I've had it working. It's still
I gather if you can get it working, it's great.
On top, you've got it working.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh,
If you
Awesome.
can get it,
You
you
can
place
place
it
it every version.
in the centre of your full frame, and then pick the smaller frame region of interest. It will follow all around the centre.
Yeah. But it can also control your mount, so it can actually ask them to your mount and keep adjusting your mount, keep the planet centre the same way guiding works, which means you can literally just leave it imaging. And if you want to do time lapses over a 2, 3, 4 hour period, sit there with the controller constantly nudging the camera can get a bit old. If you can get the software working to do that, then you've got a really easy night ahead. All you're left doing is playing with focus. So yeah, as you can see, that's an image. That's not a stacked image anyway. That's one frame. It's the first frame of the video. So you can see it's pretty good. If I just do an analyze on that, it's pretty quick because this laptop's pretty racy. Should be for paper. And that will arrange the frames in quality order, ready for stacking. So your first frame, you see that's the best frame. When I first started imaging, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, that was my output from stacking. I was pretty happy with it. So that's one frame. So if you get things working well, it's good and clear night, then you can realistically hope to get that kind of image out and that's with the QHY camera, which is, if you've got a better camera, your telescope, also if you've got a slightly bigger telescope, even better. If you've got a 10-inch telescope, then you'd expect to get even better because the amount of detail you're going to see on the planet is directly proportional to the radius of your telescope. So you're not going to get better. You're not going to get a lot better than that out of an 8-inch telescope because your diffraction limits of the telescope mean it's just not possible. Stacking helps a lot with all of that. I'll just run this one through the stack because it's pretty damn quick and easy. If I go, what was that set to 20, I've set it to stack 20% of the frames, which is, you can go lower. If you've got a lot of wobble and the atmosphere is bad, you might even need to go down to 10%. If you've got an amazing night and everything's beautiful, you can go higher. I can go in here and just say, tell the software to place some alignment points, do it all for you, and just say stack. And that's it. That's the entire stacking process done. If you've got problems with things, then there's an awful lot of options available to improve it. But if you've taken a larger region of interest, then you can use these sliders up here to crop in because this program, as soon as it loads the image, will automatically center the planet in every frame. So you can go, okay, now cut it down so your output it's not stacking a load of black stuff. So you don't need to use, some people were talking the other day about using PIP, Planetary Image Preprocessor, to tidy up your own API before you bring it to stacking software. It's completely unnecessary, it does it for you. You just put it in and it aligns everything. So that's done a stack. If I go into the folder the output folder for that, which is here, go in here, go in here, as one I did earlier. So this is the one I've just done, I think, yeah. And it automatically does a quick sharpened version. There's one that's not sharpened and one that is sharpened. If I go in here and say, I think it's photos, let's see it. Quick preview of what you get. That's literally just stacked. That's not gone through register. not bad, you know. It's pretty good. So that process was literally 2 minutes to go from I've got a video to I've got that. Again, we then usually, as everybody I guess knows, you go off to Registacks usually, where you load in the output image from Astrostacker into something like Registacks. There we go. Take that, drop it to Registacks, say, yeah, sure. Thing, and then we can apply some sharpening to that. Oh, not that much. Have I loaded the sharpened one? Yeah, I have. Okay, one thing never do, never load the pre-sharpened image into Registacks, because you're doing it, sharpening a sharpened image and it looks awful. There we go, we can go in here, we can start banging up the sliders, nothing too fancy at this point. Very basic levels. I'm going to go and adjust some, so do this first. Set some parameters. I mean, there's a billion tutorials for this software online, and I've also done a bit of a tutorial in one of the previous meetings which should be available online in the group. Auto balance. Still always too much blue for my taste. And you're starting to get towards a pretty respectable image. Now, exactly what you do with these, matter of taste. Some people use a curve like this, but I find bringing up the small detail usually works better for my images. I think it's partly personal taste, partly based on your images you get coming out, and etc. Go in and just stretch the image a bit. Hello. So that's a 2-minute process. Video I mean, it's not bad, eh? It's not a bad starting point. You'll get a lot better than that. I mean, you can take it into Photoshop or whatever you've got and play around with everything as well, of course, and you invariably will, but then you don't really need to, and you get a pretty solid output. Okay, so back to our cameras, because this was supposed to be fairly practical.
John, can you just explain that, the ROI?
Okay, yeah. Right, so over on the right side here, you'll see that entire grey box.
Yep.
That's the entire camera frame.
Okay.
The ROI is the little black camera box. See up here I've set capture area?
Yeah.
That's the ROI, region of interest. I can take that ROI and I can say, okay, I know from looking at this as a big picture with the whole capture area, that the plant's about in the middle. So I can take this and go drag it, drop in the middle, and that's it. I'm now capturing that middle area. Which means I don't end up with huge videos, I end up with tiny videos because they only contain the area I'm trying to capture.
Right.
Because SharpCap, your frame rates will go up because SharpCap's actually talking to the camera and saying capture just this bit, and only this bit comes across the USB. So it's not just happening on the video, it's saving all that download time. The frame rates go through the roof. 480 by 480, the frame rates are as much as the computer did.
So the drawback of a small region of interest is you've got to have it.
You've got to get
tracked.
Yeah, you've got to work on keeping it centre,
Yeah.
and you may have to nudge it more often as it starts to drift occasionally. And it's harder if you set it to worse, you're going to have to use a bigger area region of interest, which means you're going to get less frames and a bigger file.
And so by the same token, use the change the capture area.
Yeah.
Right.
800 by 600 is quite a big capture area. The Jupiter will fit in a 400 by 400 by 400 with all my file on place and stuff. So 800 by 600 gives you a good amount of space around it. You do have to pay attention. You can't just, unless you can get the auto tracking working, in which case you can go inside and leave it. You do have to pay attention to it and use the on-screen controls or handset to keep it centered. The other thing here is a few settings. I always capture in RAW 8 because the files are smaller, basically, and therefore you get better frame rates. Doesn't really make any difference to the output quality, I don't think. But RAW 8 is it's just a file format that it's going to capture, and it doesn't bother debarring into a video. It just dumps the stuff to disk, basically, as frames. Binning I've never bothered with these cameras because it doesn't really work. Some cameras, binning is a solid option. If anyone not know what binning is? Binning is where every 4 pixels become 1. So basically, but it does it at the lowest level of the process. So you actually, it's not just resizing the video after it's taken, it's capturing it like that.
For
So a
CMOS,
camera,
it is just resizing.
pardon?
For CMOS, it is just resizing.
Yeah, but it's resizing before it gets to the point of doing the work, isn't it? Depends on the camera, doesn't it?
Only CCD, because I
Okay.
have them.
So if you've got a CCD-based camera, you can do binning at the camera, and then everything's quicker.
But
And
you don't use CCD planetary.
so, but anyway, it's still an advantage sometimes because it reduces the size of everything. And if you're pushing it on the quality and struggling, you're going to get sharper images, you're going to get smaller videos, you're going to get a smaller resulting image out the other end, but quality beats size every time. If you've got a beautiful, smaller image that's nice and crisp, you're going to be much happier than if you've got a bigger image that's all fuzzy and bloated. So I don't use binning because the cameras are really not suitable for it. Output format, you can use AVI, or you can also use SER, which makes, again, I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference because
I recently learned that the serial is, I think, optimally better.
It's faster because it doesn't process it as much.
it may save the files faster to disk if you've got a bottleneck on the disk drive when you're saving images, because when you start capturing a video, you've got the USB as a bottleneck for the camera, you've got the software as a bottleneck doing the processor, but for a lot of people, especially if you're not using an SSD, using a hard drive, the actual saving of the video to the disk is a potential bottleneck on performance. If that's a bottleneck, then the CF format can save you some time there. And you make it, I think you get smaller files, don't you? No? CF format? That's
quite
the same.
larger.
Okay. And the stacking software just understands it all anyway. Without any trouble. I've never had any trouble, regardless of what I say from here, I've never had any trouble getting auto-stacker to recognise it. I used to have all kinds of trouble getting Registacks to recognise files, but not really the case. So these settings down here about performance, speed, and USB traffic, etc. I'm probably blocking the screen, so I'm being sorry. Are very, very camera dependent. I'm going to plug the other camera in, you'll see, probably see entirely different settings. For this camera, they affect how the USBs perform. For me, so I push the speed to maximum. On my laptop I use for capturing, I have to leave the USB traffic on 0. This camera, this laptop, I've got to turn it up or it won't work. So it's just to do how the USB ports are working on your equipment. You find what works for you. It can also live broadcast and stuff like, so if you're into casting over the internet what you're doing for other people to watch, a couple of people that do that, I know. You can do it straight out of the software and capture what you're going to see. Usually you're so busy fussing around, the last thing you want to do is anyone else be watching your mistakes. You've also got gamma controls and stuff for the image. This just affects the image on screen here, that your preview image. You might find it useful. I've never really bothered with it because I figure I want to see what I'm going to capture. I'm not doing it for the pretties on screen. Most useful tool here is this one, shortcut histogram. You see the exact same thing, but you see this. This shows you how much of each colour you're actually getting. See, I'm looking in front, it's getting darker, it's getting lighter. You don't ever want any of your colours to get anywhere near 100%, because then you're blowing your image up. I think Liam looks at, what, 70 as the maximum, do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. The right-hand side of that peak, where it comes down, to be maybe 70%. Even if it's 60%, it's still pretty good. I wouldn't go much higher, because there's a risk of it spiking out into the clipping at the top. If it goes to 100, you're clipping colour and you end up with white bits that have overblown your image, which is the enemy. That shows you how the 3 channels of balancing as well. It's a really nice little tool. And I have it up all the time when I'm imaging. So you can find with the sky, as seeing goes up and down, or very thin haze goes across, your image can be getting dimmer and brighter. So making some quick adjustments to gain or whatever between images, just balance it, try to keep your image brightness about the same. So yeah, that's pretty much that process. I'm going to turn that off and try and come back in with this fancy camera of Liam's. That's the HDMI port. I'm plugging that.
We need to restart shortcut. I'm pretty sure that's all before.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, that's taking my my camera out.
All these USB 3 ports.
This side is one. know if you have to keep a few cameras on clean because the dust bunnies are very close to the sensor and you'll see things like lodges or images which you've dealt with. And hopefully, so there we go. I installed the driver for this. So look at that. Instantly. So I want to see that. Yeah, Jesus.
That's flipped.
Okay, so so that's on quite a. That's full frame. Is that full frame then? Is it? So this camera 13.4 by 976. Yeah.
Sorry? Yeah, this is the full resolution.
So that's the full resolution of the camera. As you can see, it's actually quite interesting to do this because you'll see the region of interest kicking in. So that's the full frame of the camera. Frame rate is 27 seconds, 27 frames a second.
No,
7.8.
8 seconds right now.
But that's at 133 milliseconds and a full frame. So this camera on the USB 3, get a USB 3 camera if you can, because you know, the performance is just really great. So if you bring the region of interest in, we reduce the capture area.
I haven't used this program in ages.
Right, up a bit, down a bit, there, up a bit,
Oh, sorry.
there. So if you come in there, yeah, you see you zoomed in on the square, and you can see what you can see on the left, and you zoomed in on the image. If you come right, you can come right down quite a lot further than that, I would imagine. But
Yeah, we're bottlenecked
Yeah.
by the exposure length. So
Pardon?
we were bottlenecked by
Yeah.
the exposure length. So
Yeah.
if we drop
So
this
it's up to 80 frames a second there, which is quite a reasonable resolution. So that, I'm assuming, would be, so what would you image Jupiter at? When you've got totally telescope, haven't you? So
it comes around about 10 milliseconds. Below that, then like it gets a bit too.
what about your capture area?
For capture, I think I aimed around between 600 and 400-ish.
Yeah. So if you go to 488 by 488, then your frame rates go 100,
Yeah.
over 100 frames a second. The advantage of 100 frames a second is you take a 2-minute video, you've got 120 seconds, you've got 12,000 frames. 12,000 frames, you can take 15% of those, and that's a lot of frames. That's what, 1,800 frames of actual stacked image. There, you've just got a good chance of being really stellar. So the USB 3 camera, and you can see from the image how, given how low the light is in here, that's actually working really well. So you can see, you can get a handle on what the region of interest is doing there for you. If you go to, so you'll notice there's quite different settings over this side, I suspect. Yeah, you've got turbo USB, you've got high-speed mode. They depend. I don't know what they are, but Liam probably does. Because it's his camera.
The gain is 107 according to them.
Yeah, so entirely different gain scale
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the QHY.
0 to 600 on this one.
The gain scale on the QHY is totally different. I'm working at 9. When I did Mars the year before last, the big bright Mars, was it the year before last or last year? Last year, sorry. When it was clouds all over it, in spite of the fact it was beautiful and bright, you couldn't see much. But that was so bright that at one point I was imaging like 12 milliseconds and gain of 2. And I was getting just impeccable images because there's no noise, because the gain, that low knocks all the noise out. But it was so bright, it was much, much brighter than Jupiter. So that was quite exceptional. Normally Mars is brighter, but it's very small, so it's a bit more of a, for Saturn, you need longer exposure times. Saturn is a lot fainter than Jupiter. It's got really nice sharp edges and corners, so focusing is much easier on Saturn. Whereas Jupiter is a mess of clouds and stuff, you actually sometimes struggle to, unless the red spots there, it can be more of a challenge to focus. Whereas Saturn, you've got all these lovely right angle corners. You can see when you're in focus or not. You can see the gap in the rings sometimes on the live image on Saturn, which is always exciting to see that. So if you go to start capture, this is where you're actually doing, you're capturing something. Say start capture, normally specify a time limit. I think I normally go specify time limit at 2 minutes. You can set up a sequence if you're going to do a time lapse or something, and just say start. And you'll see it'll start capturing 125 frames a second with no loss. So USB and an SSD and a laptop, and it's no bottlenecks at all. It's just puking data straight onto your hard disk, which is amazing, really. Considering when I started a few years ago with a crappy old machine, and this is really struggling. I was finding as soon as I recorded, my frame rate halved because the hard drive couldn't keep up with saving the data. So again, if you can can get an SSD in whatever you're capturing on. It's going to help you. Get USB, it's all going to help.
Yeah, when I was doing my master's last year, I use a hard disk drive. I don't have an SSD at the moment, and I actually had to limit my frame rate artificially.
Because it's stopping and catching and getting gaps. Yeah, so you can see it's down there. You can see at the bottom left, it's telling you how many frames it's captured. So far it's captured 6,500 frames at 125 frames a second, and it's done 1 minute. So we're going to be, what, 15,000 frames over 2 minutes. So that's pretty nice. It's only dropped 0 frames. You'll find you sometimes get drop frames if the hardware can't keep up. I find I get drop frames on USB 2. I get a few drop frames. So once that's finished, we'll have a video of all you what we've done. We won't because it's going to be brief, thankfully, for everybody, I think. So yeah, that's literally the process anyway, sort of actually capturing. Now the process before that was the bit everybody struggled with. That's the easy bit, really, once you've got things working. The struggle is, getting something in frame. Now, I don't know. We can probably plug in that one, or plug in the L. Plug that one in. Plug that one in and see if we can get a focus. We might be able to get a focus over there on those hexagons on that wall or something. Because it's, in theory, it's supposed to be able to focus that far away. Theory and practice is quite different. What I'd like to do is I've got a couple of printouts there of planets which, if we can get a focus, I'll stick one of those, stick something like that on the back wall, and start to get an idea of just what you're trying to get your telescope to point out using the telescope and the finescope. A couple of the other little flies doing that. One of the things I talk about, which is focusing. It's an area you're going to struggle with. You're going to go to the telescope and start adjusting the focus with your hand, and you're going to be knocking it around all over the place. And you can see it on the screen, everything in your frame. So it's really hard to focus by hand, unless your telescope mount is Grant's mount, in which case you can probably lean on it, it's not making any difference. But the mounts like the mortals you've got can't do that. You tap this thing, or you start doing the focus, and that's going to wobble very slightly, and you're going to have trouble seeing it and focusing at the same time. This is about as I bought this from the society that bring them by for like $10 or something. This is one of these really, really crappy old push-on focusers. It came with a little handset that it plugged into, using an audio plug. That's okay for a little handset to left and right focus. It's not bad. I got this, again, second-hand from somebody, but you can get these kind of things, USB focus controller from Shoestring Astronomy. It's one of the ones online. There's one of the popular. Makes it cheap astronomy equipment in the UK or the US. They're really cheap and they're really reliable. They'll say a little USB box like this, you've got your focus, and these are available very cheaply. They can be, you can make them work on pretty much anything. These, I've got this pushed onto the focuser on the back of my category, which is hardly optimal given the mirror shift and stuff, but it works. I actually used a rubber grommet to help it stay in place on that. So that kind of quad setup, but it doesn't matter, because it's a dirt cheap way of focusing that touching the down telescope. And I can go on the PC, I can run up a bit of free software that comes from the same people who make that equipment. There's enough, here we go. This thing goes focusing one day, focusing the other way, tells you the distance you moved it by, change the speed, you can tell it to, you got all kinds of control over it. So you can, I found with this I can get pinpoint focus because you can make tiny adjustments to focus without touching the telescope at all.
What's someone called?
Focus power. Oh, what's in the unit called? The unit's called FC USB. It's from Shoestring Astronomy. And they're really cheap. I think it's like $100. It's less than $100, I think, for those. They're really quite cheap. And this is just an instant solution. It's not temperature control linear focus, but it doesn't cost $800 or more for a unit. I can't afford a linear, nice moonlight focuser or something. If you've got one, awesome. Don't tell me about it, I'll cry. So, that kind of thing will give you the ability to get the focus right without spending a lot of money. Everything I've done relatively on the cheap. So it's title, I think. Any, oh yeah,
Rich,
wow. That's pretty good. If we can bring it in to handset to swing it down,
What do you think? They fix
try
one?
and put it at the hexagon if you can. Set it up.
Speed line.
Well, you guys can drive it. Come and take it.
This is where equatorial is like the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, you're actually down the people
No, I need to point the other axis.
Oh, bit more.
I think you're getting there. I
Oh,
think.
that's black. I think that's somebody's coat. I don't want to go over to the right one again. Try using the.
It's fine,
Other
just
two.
pointed on it, but you know if it's around.
Probably not.
Oh, got something there.
The thing is, it's going to
Because
be
the edge of one
fuzzy
of those things is going to be very. All right. So what do you think you're looking at? What colour is that? One of those tiles or the wall?
Just get an edge.
Press the one button and it'll slow down.
Actually, maybe I should. That's already on there, isn't it? Maybe not one, maybe four or something. One's so slow, it's pretty much, that's a tiny part. When you're actually capturing, you've got your adjusted set to the slowest possible speed. You'll find you're nudging it around quite easily. If you've got this thing set to anything like 3 or something, you're just going to be whacking it straight off the screen all the time. Oh, that's nice to an edge there. Yeah. Sometimes you lost it a bit. You had an edge, maybe back to where you were. Down the bottom, I was seeing a definite black line starting to appear, but you've kind of lost it now. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Actually, tell you what,